Assalamu alaikum. My name is Sajjad and I am from the Department of BS Biochemistry. Today I am here to present a short presentation on acids and bases. Um, I'm here to talk about three concepts here: Arrhenius concept, Lewis and Bronsted-Lowry concept. Arrhenius concept. According to this concept, an acid is a substance which dissociates in aqueous solution to give hydrogen ions, and base is a substance which dissociates in aqueous solution to give hydroxide ions. Let me show you some examples of acids and bases. For example, acid, hydrochloric acid and hydrochloric acid and acetic acid dissociates in aqueous solution to give hydroxide ion, and base, sodium hydroxide and calcium hydroxide dissociates in aqueous solution to give hydroxide ions. But this concept has some concept is just applicable in aqueous media and does not explain the nature of acids and bases in non-aqueous media. According to this concept, acids and bases are only those compounds which contain hydrogen and hydroxide ions, hydrogen and hydroxide. It cannot explain the nature of compounds like carbon dioxide, sodium hydroxide. These are the limitations of Arrhenius concept of acids and bases. Concept of acids and bases is Bronsted-Lowry concept. In 1923, the Danish chemist Bronsted and the English chemist Lowry independently proposed their theories on the basis of proton transfer. An acid is a substance that can donate a proton to another substance, and a base is a substance which accepts a proton from another substance. HCl in acid reacts with NH3 base, dissociates in water and converts into the NH4 positive plus Cl. Similarly, when HCl dissolves in water, HCl acts as an acid and H2 acts as a base. It is a reversible reaction. In the forward reaction, HCl is an acid as it donates a proton, whereas H2 is a base as it accepts a proton. In the reverse reaction, chlorine ion is a base. Chlorine ion is a base as it accepts a proton from acid H3O positive. Chlorine ion is called a conjugate base of acid HCl, conjugate base of acid HCl as it donates a proton. And H3O positive ion is called a conjugate acid of base H2O. It means every acid produces a conjugate base and every base produces a conjugate acid. Two terms like conjugate acid and conjugate base. Conjugate acid is a species formed by accepting a proton by a base, and conjugate base is a species formed by donating a proton by an acid. This concept also have some limitations, like there are certain substances which behaves like acids but do not have the ability to donate a proton, such as SO3, and there are certain bases such as calcium oxide which do not have the ability to accept a proton. These observations prove the limitations of Bronsted-Lowry concepts of acids and bases. Third concept of acids and bases is Lewis concept of acids and bases. The Arrhenius and Bronsted-Lowry concepts of acids and bases are limited to substances like protons. But in 1923, Lewis proposed a more broader concept of acids and bases based on electron